Has something ever happened to you where you thought it was all over, only for one small thing to change everything? You thought you had it all under control, but then something unexpected happened. Now, all you can think is, how did this even happen? But the real story is still to come. You won't want to miss what happens next. Dear listeners, before we move forward, please subscribe my channel to hit 1,000 figure. It's a moment every Western fan knows, the Mexican standoff. But let me take you back to a place where the heat of the sun isn't the only thing that's burning. Imagine yourself in a dusty graveyard. The wind whips through the gravestones, carrying with it the weight of every choice you've ever made. There, in the middle of the graveyard, 3 men face off. They don't just have guns drawn, they have their very souls exposed. Blondie, the good, stands tall and confident, his expression unreadable. His calmness betrays the raw power of experience. He's been here before. He knows this game. He's got the quickest hand in the West, and every second counts. But he's not the only one with a card to play. On the other side is Angel Eyes, the bad. You can see it in his eyes, cold, calculating. He's no stranger to the darker side of life. He's been in enough fights, made enough deals in shadows, that the light of day hardly seems to touch him anymore. The tension between him and Blondie is more than just about the money or the bounty. It's personal. And then there's Tuco, the ugly. He's the wild card. His crazed laugh echoes across the cemetery, masking the chaos of his thoughts. He's unpredictable, someone who could turn a simple robbery into a bloodbath. He's not afraid to get dirty, but there's more to him than just his rough exterior. Maybe it's greed, maybe it's survival, but Tuco is here for something bigger than what the eyes can see. Now, imagine you're standing there, your hand hovering over your holster. You don't know who will blink first. You can hear nothing but your heartbeat. The silence is deafening, broken only by the wind, the thrum of your pulse, and a distant bird's call. This is more than just a standoff. It's a moment of reckoning. It's the culmination of every decision, every misstep, every hard lesson learned in the dust and blood of the West. And as you stand there, you realize something. You can't predict the outcome. In this life, in these moments, anything can happen. You're just waiting for the trigger to be pulled. Before this moment, these 3 men were just strangers in the dust. But as they stand in the graveyard, a shared history begins to emerge, each one shaped by their own journey, their own scars. Blondie, the good, wasn't always the calm, collected man he is now. He didn't just stumble into the life of a bounty hunter. He was shaped by years of war, survival, and loss. There was a time when he trusted people, when he believed in honor. But life had a way of turning those beliefs into dust. Every town he rode through left behind nothing but empty promises and broken dreams. And those promises, they always come with a price. A price Blondie learned to pay, over and over again, until he no longer cared for anything but survival. Angel Eyes, the bad, is a man forged in betrayal, a life spent in the shadows of greed, where alliances are as fickle as the wind. He was once a soldier, a man who fought for something greater than himself, but the war left him with nothing but hollow victories. He learned early on that in this world, trust is a luxury you can't afford. And so, he became ruthless. He became a man who would sell his soul for gold. To him, honor was just a word, a fleeting idea people cling to when they're too naive to see the truth. The truth is, the world doesn't care about your ideals. It cares about power. and Angel Eyes had learned to wield that power with cold precision. Then there's Tuco, the ugly. His past is a jagged road of betrayal and broken dreams. But don't let his crazed laughter fool you. He's not just a fool or a thug. Tuco knows pain. He's felt it in his bones. His brother betrayed him. The law abandoned him. And in the end, it was only his own wits and sheer will to survive that kept him going. He's made mistakes, but Tuco's mistakes don't haunt him. Instead, they fuel him. Each one a lesson in how to get by, how to survive, how to make sure that in this world, it's always you who comes out on top. As they stand there, hands hovering over their guns, it's not just about the money or the prize. This is personal. Each one of them has their own ghosts, their own reasons for being here. They've all been scarred by life, some more than others, and now they're about to face their fate. But the question is, will they let their pasts define them, or will they take control of their futures, no matter the cost? The silence thickens, heavy with memories that refuse to die. It's not just a showdown of who can draw faster. It's a showdown of who can confront their past and move forward. In this moment, as the three men stand facing each other, something bigger than fear or greed is at play. It's desperation, the kind of desperation that comes from a life of constant survival, from a world where every man is for himself, and where choices are rarely made by principle, but by necessity. Blondie, the good, isn't just in this fight for the bounty. No, this is about survival, about proving to himself that all those years of living on the edge, all those lonely nights, haven't been for nothing. The world has taken from him over and over again, but now, with this showdown, he has a chance to take something back. His eyes flicker with resolve, the steady beat of his heart matching the ticking seconds. But even he knows that this isn't just about him. This is about proving something to a world that has always tested his limits. Angel Eyes, the bad, feels it too. This isn't just about the gold or the kill. This is about control, about having the upper hand, about never being weak again. He's been pushed around, outsmarted, even betrayed. The law never caught up to him. But fate has a way of catching up to everyone, doesn't it? He can feel the grip of desperation squeezing him, gnawing at his insides. He's not just fighting for the treasure. He's fighting to assert his power, to prove that no one can take anything from him. He won't go back to being powerless. Not again. And then there's Tuco, the ugly. His desperation runs deep. This isn't just about money, it's about redemption, about finding a way out of the mess he's made of his life. He's lived on the edge for so long, always the outcast, always the one to be discarded, that he's convinced himself the only way to survive is to take from others before they can take from him. But deep down, there's more. He knows he's got one shot left, a chance to change the narrative, to turn the page and start a new chapter. Maybe it's too late, but at this moment, in the silence of the graveyard, he can't help but wonder, can he ever escape his past? They stand there, three men on the verge of a life-defining moment, each one carrying the weight of their choices. The guns they hold aren't just weapons, they're symbols of their desperation. They represent the last chance for each of them to escape the chaos of their lives and find something they can call their own. But desperation isn't just about wanting something. It's about needing it. And right now, each of them needs to win. For their own reasons, for their own survival. As they take their positions, the seconds stretch on, unbearable. The question is no longer about who will draw first. but who can survive the weight of their own desperation? The sun beats down relentlessly, casting long shadows over the graveyard as time slows to a crawl. It feels as though the earth itself is holding its breath. The three men, Blondie, Angel Eyes, and Tuco, are locked in a tense standoff, their hands trembling ever so slightly, just enough for anyone paying close attention to notice. But they're not just fighting with guns. They're fighting with their wills, their resolve. In this moment, it's not about who's the quickest. It's about who's willing to die for the chance to live. Blondie's eyes never leave his opponents. He knows this moment. He's been in enough showdowns to recognize when it's make or break. But this time, there's something different. There's a weight to it. Something that feels heavier than the usual fight. Maybe it's because this time, it's not just his own life on the line. This is a test of everything he's become, everything he's lost. His finger twitches, and for a fraction of a second, his hand moves, but only a fraction. He's not the first to make his move, and he doesn't plan to be. Angel Eyes stands still, the definition of calm under pressure. His eyes flicker with calculation, each movement deliberate. He's done the math. He knows exactly how this will play out if he's patient enough. He's learned through the years that timing is everything. In this game, it's not just about speed, it's about precision. His eyes lock onto Blondie. The good is the one he needs to deal with first, the one who can make the difference in the outcome. But Tuco's the wild card. Angel Eyes can't let his guard slip for a second. He can feel the sweat trickling down the back of his neck, but he keeps it under control. He's been through worse. And then there's Tuco. He's laughing, his hands shaking with a mixture of anxiety and adrenaline. He's not as composed as the other two, but there's a fire in his eyes, a desperation that burns brighter than anything they can understand. This is more than just a fight. This is his moment, his chance to turn everything around. His laughter rings out like a desperate plea, a battle cry against the life that has trapped him. He's here for something more than gold. He's here for redemption, for the hope that maybe, just maybe, there's something left to fight for. The air crackles with tension as each man takes a step, a tiny movement in the dance of life and death. The seconds stretch. Then, a gunshot. It's impossible to say who fired first. The sound is deafening, echoing through the empty graveyard. The world seems to freeze as the smoke swirls around them. For a heartbeat, it seems like nothing has happened. But then, one of them crumples to the ground, the weight of their own fate too much to carry. The standoff is over, but who will stand, and who will fall? The dust settles slowly, like the quiet aftermath of a storm. The tension that once filled the air now hangs like a heavy mist. The graves around them stand silent witnesses to the aftermath of a decision that can never be undone. In the graveyard, where so many lives have been buried, one more man lies still. His story cut short in an instant. Blondie, the good, stands over the fallen body of Angel Eyes, his chest rising and falling with the weight of what has just happened. The silence that follows feels louder than the gunshot itself. He's won, but at what cost? The thrill of victory doesn't hit him like it used to. The years of bloodshed, of surviving against the odds, have taken their toll. In this moment, he realizes that the man who won this duel is not the man he was when he walked in. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the cost of living this life, of being the good, is never truly knowing if it's worth it. Tuco, the ugly, looks down at the body of Angel Eyes with an expression that's hard to read, part satisfaction, part disbelief. He survived. Against all odds, he's made it out alive. His eyes flicker with something deeper than relief, a kind of self-awareness that maybe, just maybe, this life of chaos, of running from one disaster to the next, isn't all there is. He won the fight, but he's left with the feeling that victory means nothing if it doesn't lead to something more. And then there's the graveyard, the land where countless souls have rested, each one having paid the price for their own choices. Today, 3 men added their names to that list. But the world doesn't stop for them. It never does. The wind continues to blow, the sun continues to set, and somewhere, someone else is gearing up for their own standoff, their own fight for survival. The consequences of this moment will echo through time, like a ripple in the water, never truly fading away. Statistics will tell us that in the Old West, showdowns like this were rare. Most fights were resolved through deceit, deception, or sheer luck. But the ones that stand out, the ones that truly leave their mark, are the ones like this, where life and death hang in the balance, where the past, present, and future collide in a single, fleeting moment. So, as Blondie walks away, his silhouette fading into the horizon, and Tuco disappears into the dust, we're left with one final question. Did they win, or were they simply lucky? In the end, maybe the real answer is neither. Maybe the only thing that matters is that in the end, they lived to face another day,